Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is David Rowe and you're in my little shop here in Mobile, Alabama. And I'm going to go on to the next phase of this guitar I'm building. I'm going to go step by step through the process of building this guitar. This is going to be the top. It's a zebra wood top. It's going to be a carved top. And anyway, so in the last video I went through where I thinned all this wood down and I resawed it and planed it and joined it and glued it together. And on this one, I'm going to take it through the bandsawing and cut out both the carved top and the body, a piece of mahogany. And I'm going to route the body to its final shape. And I'm also going to take and use my template both to route the body and also to cut the chambers inside the body to make it a bit lighter. And it actually also acts as a control cavity too. So anyway, so I'm going to do that on this video. I hope you all like it. I hope somebody gets something from it. And I'm going to go take this all over the bandsaw right now and get going. So I hope you join me. Okay, so here I'm over on my bandsaw, cutting out the body. You can see I mark that with a Sharpie when I mark it off of the template. And I do that because the Sharpie gives me about 1/8 of an inch wide line. And I do my best to cut to the outside of that line. 1/8 inch is enough that it's not terrible to router off. It keeps it kind of tight, and it's a line I can kind of follow. This is probably like 10 times normal speed. I wish I could go that fast, but not even close. Here I'm cutting out the top. Now when I route this, I'll route the body first, and I'll leave the top just cut with the bandsaw. And after I do some other work to them, I'll glue the top on the body, and then I'll route the top to match the body. Okay, so I've got the body all cut out on the bandsaw, and I cleaned up a couple of spots on the belt sander, so I didn't have too much to take off with the router. And now I'm going to stick my template down on here, and I'm going to actually put a couple of screws in it because this body is going to be covered by that zebra wood top over there, so it's going to cover up all the screw holes. But before I put my screws in, I'm going to stick a couple pieces of this double-sided sticky tape on here just to make sure it doesn't shift on me when I'm putting in the screws, because okay, it looks good. It's all nicely lined up, ready to go. So now we're going to go over to the my table router. I got a 3 horsepower Porter cable router in there with a bottom bearing that'll ride on this template, and it's going to cut out the body to its final shape. Okay, so here I'm at my router. As you can see, I'm wearing a pair of gloves. That's a big, powerful router and a big flush trim bit. And it can, if it catches grain wrong, it can grab it and snatch that body out of your hands. So I try to be very careful. I'm also I take 2 or 3 passes to get it all the way down to the to match the template. The less you take off at a time, the better. Okay, here I'm over at my drill press. I've got about a 3/4 inch Forstner bit in there. I use that on the end where it's the cavity gets smaller. These are going to be for the chambers, and I'll swap out to about 1 3/8 inch. Take out a little more material. I go through and I drill out all this material first, so my router doesn't have to fight so hard to get it all out. I chip out the last few pieces I didn't catch with the drill. And I'm going to get ready to router. Okay, so we got the body cavities drilled out. We went and we drilled it down to we left about 1/2 inch on the back, And when it's finished, when I route this out, we're going to have about a 3/8 thick back on it. That'll give us enough room to cut in our body cavity cover, which we're going to make out of wood too. And anyway, so I've got here my, this is a bowl bit, okay? That's a 3/4 inch bit. You can see it's sort of flat on the bottom. And then on the sides, it's rounded up. And I think that rounds up really nice against where the sides join to the back of the body. I think it just makes a nice curve and stays real clean. I'm going to paint it all black in there too with some of that paint, that conductive paint. Took me a minute to figure out what that was. So anyway, so we're going to do that. I got my router right here. I've got a nice big base plate on it. I've got a plexiglass base plate that's going to allow me to go across these big holes without diving in. I've got my vacuum system hooked up to it. So anyway, I'm going to get this body ready. I'm going to put the bit in the router and we're going to get routing. So here I'm routing away. The bearing on the router bit follows the template. And I probably go down maybe a 1/4 inch at a time, maybe 1/8. Not too much. You don't have to fight it too hard. So I'll route it, and then I get to a certain spot where the bit's not long enough to get all the way down past the template and into the bottom of the body. So I take it off and I reset it, and then I continue just to follow the bearing on the hole that was cut from the first couple of passes. Now I'm marking out the where I'm going to route for my control wire routes for the bridge ground, and also the two pickup wires to get them off into the control cavity. Pretty straightforward. I just freehand this. That's a 1/2 inch flush cut bit. Okay, so that's done. I've got those in there. I'm not going to do the neck pocket. I'm not going to do the pickups until after the top are on. But anyway, that's that. And I really like doing these cavities. It makes wiring the guitar real easy. There's plenty of room to run your wires in here, and makes the guitar light. Most of my guitars come out under 7 pounds when they're done. I mean, this wasn't terribly heavy wood anyhow, this mahogany, but still, I mean, it's nice when under 7 pounds, you know. At any rate, so I'm going to get ready now, and I'm going to get my conductive paint out and paint this one cavity, and I'm going to paint the back side of the zebra wood top in the same cavity, and then that thing should be sealed off well, and I'll get ready to glue it up. Okay, so I've got my conductive shielding paint I got from StewMac. Stuff works pretty good. When I can, I like using the copper tape because I think it looks really cool. With these cavities, it's going to be way up under the top, and you ain't going to get to it with copper tape. So anyway, so this is the solution. So I've got this. I'm going to mark out the back of the top. Going to lay my template back up here. I'm going to lay this thing out. Doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, but I want to get it pretty close. Like so. Okay, so that's that. And I've stirred this stuff really good because that metal in there, it settles to the bottom, so you gotta really mix it good. And I'm just gonna brush this on. I'll probably do 2 or 3 coats. So I put this on, I let it dry for a couple hours, and that's about all it takes, and I'll hit it another coat and maybe even a 3rd coat too. Well, thanks for watching. If you like this sort of content, how about you hit the like and subscribe? And come back for my next video where I'm going to be taking this SR22 Zebra to the next level. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you soon.